Well, hello everybody, and good evening, Vashon Island, and welcome. Welcome very heartily to Prevent Homelessness on Vashon, sponsored by Vashon Rotary. This is a kickoff event for the Prevent Homelessness on Vashon fundraising program, which is a several-month program. My name is Kevin Joyce. I'm delighted to be with you guys and to see that there are people joining us from throughout the Vashon stratosphere. I want to bring to everyone's attention on the chat screen, rather on the Zoom screen, at the bottom, there is a chat window. And I want to ask everyone to click that chat window and make sure that your chat is open. I know Mike England is here because he already complimented me on, I think, my bow tie. It might have been my hair or the halo of the Rotary insignia around my head. I don't know what it is. But I would love to ask everyone to begin engaging, say hello to each other, make sure you know who is there. Mike just raised his hand. And I want to ask everyone to go into the chat box and tell us, to begin our program, just sort of as a warm-up, where are you viewing us from? What's your neighborhood on Vashon? Or if you're off Vashon, that would be exciting to know if we're being joined from throughout the world, because this does go out from Liza Beulah to London. Tell us where you are tuning in from, what room in your house or what neighborhood. Docton, I see who's here. Tucson, Arizona, how exciting. Woodway, Washington, Ravenna area in Seattle. See, I knew we had people from my studio from the Burton Loop. Thank you very much, everybody. Now you're getting into it. This is how we want it. From the East Lake neighborhood. I want to point out that we have, in terms of those who are responding, as many people from off island as from on. Ruston, back porch. See, Mike is actually tuning in from off island. Fantastic to have you all here. This evening is a collaboration between Vashon Rotary International, Vashon Youth and Family Services, the Interfaith Council to Prevent Homelessness, Vashon St. Vincent de Paul, and all contributions that we are gathering this evening and that we will gather over the course of the next 3 months will go to help prevent homelessness on Vashon by contributing to those 3 charities. This is how you donate, ladies and gentlemen. You will donate by going directly, and I'm going to lay this out for you now, even though we have for this evening an incredible selection of musical performances, some great stories, and some great information from Vashon Rotary about what they are doing this evening. So this program is being supported by something called Our Mayberry. That's O-U-R, like it's ours. And the link is going to be in the chat right now. See it right there, ourmayberry.com/prevent homelessness. That is the link in the chat that you can just go ahead to the webpage itself and donate. But the main part of what we're doing with our Mayberry is that there are some businesses that are supporting this homelessness prevention program over the course of the next 3 months, that if you buy from them, they make a contribution directly to Rotary so that it can donate to those fantastic nonprofits. Over the course of the next 3 months, Our Mayberry will contribute a portion of what you spend. We'll give you more information as we go. But of course, I want to give a shout out to the organizations that are with us tonight. There are so many folks on the island and off that are connected to them. The Vashon Rotary has been going from 1986. If you know about Rotary, fantastic. If you don't, you're going to hear from Amy Huggins, who's the president, in just a few moments. Vashon Youth and Family Services empowers all islanders to realize their full potential through island-based services, comprehensive program for kids, families, and individuals. The beautiful organization known as the Interfaith Council to Prevent Homelessness, or the IFCH, has been helping families who've lost their jobs, rental assistance for the last 5 months during COVID, and been averaging helping over 30 families a month while this need is growing. And finally, Vashon's version of St. Vincent de Paul is an international Catholic organization that assists individuals and families in their great time of need, which is really happening right now. It offers help with rent, utilities, food, and other necessities. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, you will see ourmayberry.com and all the great offers that are there, and the restaurants. For each purchase you make through Our Mayberry, the business will make a contribution to preventing homelessness on Vashon. Now, You're going to hear more about that as we go on this evening, but this is an interactive event. So I'm going to introduce the first of several interactive games. And there's a prize of a new Tesla for the person who answers these questions correct. This is called the Conundrum Challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Now, conundrum is a series of words that you see on the screen, and then you scramble them if you can, because when they are scrambled in a certain way, they create another word that is the answer. And we give you a clue for how you can find the answer. Now, the sample is taking these three words: by my rear. You don't have to think of that as saucy in any way. It's just three words. But what you're going to do is you're going to scramble them to create another word or phrase. Now, there's a clue here, and the clue is it's ours. So, again, remember the website that we're using to run this fundraiser. It's ours. And so you take these three words and you scramble them, in this case, to create one other word, and that word is, watch the screen go, Mayberry, right? You see, by my rear got scrambled into Mayberry, and the clue was it's ours, our Mayberry. That was the sample. I hope you understood how that worked. Now we're going to do the real first conundrum, which is taking two words. Here we see them on the screen. Those two words are dirty room. Those two words are going to be rearranged and combined into one word rather. Those two words can be kind of in one word, and the tip or the clue is where I visit my son or daughter at college. Those two into one word. We're going to look at your answers in just a moment. Dirty room are, you combine those words, you mix them up again to create a new word, and the clue is where I visit my son or daughter at college. Now, this evening we are joined by a variety of incredible musical performances to provide some entertainment for this evening and to give us all a sense of both being in community, having something beautiful to look at on an evening where we're all distant, socially distanced, dealing with all this smoke, but at the same time able both to celebrate our community and to celebrate some of the beautiful things that come out of our community. So the first musician that we're going to hear from tonight, and we are so delighted to have Vashon Live helping us out with some incredible music. He owns the Judd Creek Nursery with his wife on Vashon, Vicky. He has played in bands that has gigs from Vashon to Portland. He's a regular fixture at the Vashon Farmers Market. He is a Seattle native, a longtime Vashon Islander that many of you know and love. He plays guitar, harmonica, the washboard. He started his musical career, how classic is that, on Haight-Ashbury in the mid-1960s. He lived off the grid on the Oregon coast. He raised a family. He started a garden. He's been a bus driver, a logger, a commercial fisherman, and he's helped run Wax Orchard Farm. Definitely a well-lived life. It is an incredible privilege to invite to this show John Brown.
Hi, I'm John Brown, and this is Vashon Island, or contiguous to Vashon Island. And I'd like to play a tune to express my thanks to the Rotary for the good works that they do here, which they've done for years, and which I hope they will continue to do into the future. It's just a closer walk with thee. Would you grant it, Jesus, if you please? I'm daily walking close to thee, and let it be, dear Lord, let it be. For I am weak and you are strong. Oh, help keep me, Jesus, from all wrong. That I may help myself with thee, dear Lord. When my feeble life is old, and I shall walk this wondrous world no more, will you guide me safely on the Jordan shore, dear Lord? Let it be. It's just a closer walk with thee. Grant it, Jesus, if you please. Yes, let me hide myself in thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Thanks, Rotary.
Wow. Vashon Live. Vashon Live provided that music, as they will much of the rest of the music this evening. John Brown, what an incredible treasure on Vashon Island. Many of you have been responding in the chat box. If you're not yet on the chat box, you should. There's a lot of activity going on there. It's pretty exciting. And many of you responded with the correct answer, and some people not the correct answer, but we're going to talk about it right now. Dirty Room is reorganized with the clue you visit your son or daughter there at college into the word dormitory. Yes, many of you have taken one step closer to that free Tesla. I'm now delighted to give you a chance to hear more about Vashon Rotary from someone who's been a friend of mine for, I don't know, but it's well over 2 decades. It's a pleasure to welcome into a conversation Rotary President on Vashon Island, Amy Huggins. Amy, are you there?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Well, tell us a little bit about Rotary, encapsulate it if you can, and your involvement with it.
So I've been a member of Rotary for about 13 years, I think, and Vashon Rotary Club has served Vashon here in this community for over 35 years, but we're a much larger organization, Kevin, globally. Rotary is around now for 115 years, since 1915. And it has 1,000,002 members globally. So it's a huge family of people serving both at the community level and the global level to do projects that have lasting change.
We've had the chance to participate in events with Vashon, with Vashon Rotary, but also with Rotary Seattle 8 and Rotary 4, or Tacoma 8 and Seattle 4, which is, say, the 4th and the 8th. Those are both organizations almost 100 years old. Rotary is really, really broad in its reach. Tell me what you guys are doing, particularly during COVID. I mean, beyond this program, what else is happening with Rotary during COVID?
Well, one of the great things about Vashon Rotary Club is that since we're connected to so many other clubs, we've been able to provide funding to the Vashon Senior Center this spring to help them continue delivering healthy meals to shut-in seniors at their homes and support that they need. We also were able to provide both funding and volunteer help to the Vashon Seed Project, which you might not have heard of yet, Kevin. It's at Matsuda Farm, and it's a project from master gardeners on Vashon as well as farmers on Vashon to look at what are these seeds to plant here to provide sustainable food sources going forward.
Incredible. Tell me then, in terms of this program, how is it that this Prevent Homelessness on Vashon and your connection with those three organizations really fits into Rotary's local mission?
Because Rotary has 6 areas of focus that it works globally, Kevin. And one of those areas has to do with peace and keeping people safe. So one of the ways that we're doing that is by helping people stay in their homes, because we all need people in our community who feel safe, not that they're going to get deported, for example, and also at peace because they're surrounded by things that are familiar to them and secure for them, and where they eat and where they sleep. It's safe.
That's great. What else during COVID has been interesting to you, or has really emerged as new directions that have felt necessary for Rotary to take?
Well, as we all know, there have been a lot of things happening in our country since the George Floyd killing, well, even before that. But racial justice has become a big issue. So Rotary has taken that up also. So with our district of about 46 clubs, we created a statement of racial justice that has been in the Seattle Times and the Seattle Business Journal. And then each club has been empowered to look into their communities and see what is the appropriate action. So one of the things we're doing now is partnering with the Vashon Island School District to put up one of the mini libraries you see all over Vashon, where you can take a book and return a book.
Yes, we love those.
This one's going to be with everything in Spanish or bilingual or ESL to service our Latino community.
That's fantastic. You know, one of the things that is always so impressive about Rotary is that it is a gathering of community leaders. So what do you want to say to Vashon about people getting more involved with Rotary? Who are you trying to bring in, and what's your recruitment message right now?
Well, I think our vision is a great recruitment message, actually, Kevin. Our vision is that together, not like our Congress, but together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change.
Right
in our community, across our globe, in ourselves. So we're looking particularly for powerful women.
Oh my gosh, there's enough of them on the island.
And above, potentially, any sexual preference or race background to join our club.
How fantastic. Thank you for framing that in such an inclusive way. I saw somebody in the Zoom saying that Vashon sets the standard as a community working with great intention in advancing us all forward. Sean, I think that is a beautiful way of expressing it, and I think it's a great testament to what we're all trying to do here tonight. Amy, we have something that you all are about to show us in a video form that I find so moving and so inspiring. Give us a teeny preview of what we're about to see.
Music Men's Minds is a music therapy project, Kevin, for people 50 years old and older, who have any kind of neurocognitive disease or stroke or PTSD. And these people who participate either singing, clapping their fingers, playing a tambourine, or playing an instrument, light up circuits in their brain. There are neurocognitive studies at UCLA where the original Music Men's Minds band called the Fifth Dementia is located. And those studies show that all these actions of singing or playing music light up more activity in the brain than any other activity, than surfing, than reading, than doing chess, than math, anything else.
Amy, you have a very deep connection to this, and knowing you well, I know why you do. I want to thank you for being on the show tonight. Thank you for doing everything that you do. And if people want to get more involved in Rotary, you can go to the website and find out. Any last words, or should we go right to Music Men's Minds, Amy?
Well, VashonRotary.org is how they can check on what's going on with Rotary. And let's watch what's been happening before Corona hit at Vashon Community Care Center, where we've been running for 5 years straight every Tuesday, Music Men's Mind.
Let's check it out.
effect of music on the brain isn't completely understood because there are many anecdotal stories of people who no longer speak as a result of stroke or Alzheimer's disease or dementias, and yet can still sing. And they don't exactly understand what that phenomena is right yet in our brains, but in reality, the music memory, because it's emotional and it's something where you connect with the rhythm and the melody of the music and the lyrics of the music from a time in your life earlier on, it remains.
That's the funniest song. I love that song.
Wow. Music Men's Minds, one of the programs being brought through Amy's leadership and the other leadership at Rotary to Vashon Community Care. How beautiful is that? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to remind you that in the chat box, there is a link to ourmayberry.com/prevent homelessness, where we invite you to go ahead and donate directly to this campaign. We want to raise as much money as possible to prevent homelessness on Vashon, and to utilize that site to go and look at all the businesses that are supporting this campaign on Our Mayberry. And maybe most importantly, since this program is going to be on demand and available for people to view, because it's cool, there's a lot of people that are missing a very cool program right here, is for you to share that link, share the link to this program with friends, and share the link to Our Mayberry and to Prevent Homelessness website so that more people can get involved. Our Mayberry is a really, really cool way to raise funds and to take advantage of the fact that people can buy food during a time of social distancing, pick it up on the curbside, and make contributions to prevent homelessness at the same time. All right, we're going into our conundrum number 2. Conundrum number 2, and remember that sometimes there's a relationship between the 3 words in this case that are trying to go into the other word or combination of words. So again, a conundrum is you take these 3 words, you scramble them into another word or a pair of words, and because so many of you got the last one so correct, I'm going to reduce the clue here to fewer words than what actually was provided for me, because you all are a bunch of smarty pants. Here is your clue. You take here come dots and you turn it into another word or a pair of words. The clue is maritime distress standard. Maritime distress standard. Here come dots. All right? That's what you have, and we will check back in with you in a few minutes to see how you did. But first, we get to introduce our second musical guest, and they are the only musical guests that are coming to us off island, but they are also well known on island, and they were called, here's what I think. I don't think you should put the answer in the text box. I think you should wait, Megan McGrath. If you could take that off, you would, but you didn't. And now Mike England is laughing at you. All right. The next group that we're going to have a wonderful performance from is called Sunday and Mr. Gessel, and they have been delighting audiences all over the U.S. for 6 years, performed over 1,000 shows. They are great for their nostalgic favorites, old-timies, their interesting instrumentation, some fun facts with legendary tales, and Sunday is also a great comic performer. They are currently offering an all-new way to experience live music in the time of COVID-19 called Curbside Concerts from Sunday and Mr. Gessel. You can get a live show brought directly to your house. Let's keep hope and joy and music alive during these uncertain times. Let's hear from Sunday and Mr. Gessel.
Big shout out to Vashon Rotary. Thank you so much for all that you do. We've got a little song for you guys. This is called Darlene. Darlene. better pack your things and go, darling. Oh, darling, you're so mean to me. No, you can't stay one more night, darling. Well, every time you say you're sorry, oh, then you sweep me off of my feet. Then you go, and when I try to call, your phone just rings and rings, darling. Oh, darling. Okay, I'll give you one more chance, my sweet darling. Darling, oh darling, you broke my heart again, darling. Oh darling, you're so mean to me, falling for those eyes, darling. Well, every time you say you're sorry, oh then you sweep me out from my feet. Then you go, and when I try to call, your phone just rings and rings, darling. Darling, I'm just a fool for you, my sweet darling. Oh, my sweet darling, you're my sweet darling, darling.
Oh my heavens. Thank you so much, Sunday and Mr. Gessel. Just so that you all know, it's Sundae. They, like all the other groups tonight, performed on Vashon Live. Thank you so much to Simon and Bonnie for their amazing work on Vashon Live. Sunday and Mr. Gessel is a group you should check out and get them to do a curbside concert. Okay, listen, I just should have said this earlier, okay, around these conundrums, these challenges, that if you get all 5 of them, you win a new Tesla. I should have said don't put the answer in the chat box, because then other people will see the answer and they'll pretend that they got it right too. All right, here come dots was the 3 words you had to scramble. The clue was maritime distress standard. The answer, of course, is Morse code, the Morse code. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that in the chat box is the link, if you scroll up or scroll down, the Mayberry, ourmayberry.com, Prevent Homelessness. Please share that with your friends. You can go there right now and make a donation to this campaign. And you can also remind yourselves and remind others to use those partner businesses that are listed down there, because they are donating to this campaign over the course of the next 3 months. Now, we have an incredible group of businesses, and more will be coming online as this program opens up over the course of the next 3 months to support Prevent Homelessness on Vashon, including some off-island businesses, a great barbecue place in Gig Harbor. And our producer had a quick chat with Gary Parker, the owner of BBQ to You in Gig Harbor. Let's hear from them right now.
Hi guys, this is Gary Parker. I'm the owner and operator of Barbecue to You over in Gig Harbor. And we are partnering with our friends over at Mayberry for the Prevent Homelessness on Vashon. And what do we do here? We make authentic Central Texas barbecue. We do 7 meats a day, right? We start with our briskets early in the morning, and we do our ribs. We do our, if you're looking for some of those large dino bones that are hard to find, we do those too. We have our chicken. We have a really awesome turkey. You have to come by and try it sometime. But in support of the Prevent Homeless on Vashon, we want you to pick up one of our packages that we have online. We give 5% back for every one of those packages that are purchased, and we look forward to seeing you in the store. Thanks again, and help support Prevent Homelessness on Vashon.
Thank you, Gary Parker. I love the fact that we have someone from off island supporting us. When I lived in Minnesota or on the East Coast, I used to call the state below us Oregon. And it's not unlike people who live off island calling us Vashon. How many people in the chat box indicate, please, that you use the pronunciation Vashon? Okay? Just saying. Nobody in the chat box is indicating right now that they use crickets. Exactly, Mike England. Nobody uses Vashon. But I just want to express our incredible gratitude for Gary, both for sending us that cool video and for donating 5% of the proceeds from his remarkably good barbecue in Gig Harbor to this campaign. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into conundrum number 3. There's a variety of really cool conundra. That is the plural for conundrum in Latin. Here it is. You take these 3 words or these 3 sort of words. Mr. Mojo Rising. It's not rising, it's rising. You do not have to use the apostrophe in the other word, but those letters recombined turns into something else. And here's the clue. The clue is in the words. The clue is in the words. Don't write it in the chat box. Don't write it in the chat box, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Mojo Rising turns into something else. We will get the clue for the question number 3 that will lead to, in the 5-question challenge, to win a new Tesla. What is the word recombined to create? All right? We're going to our next performance, ladies and gentlemen, and that is from the beautiful Sarah Christine. She's a visionary Vashon-based songwriter, soulful siren with a deep desire to facilitate connection and healing on the planet through music. If you know this woman, you will know what an incredible gem she is. She really, really lives that mission. She draws inspiration from soul, reggae, R&B, and gospel, and with the support of some very beautiful fans and the successful crowdfunding campaign, Sarah Christine released her 3rd full-length album entitled Time to Shine in 2019, produced by our very own Martin Fevier. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sarah Christine.
Let me sit at your feet, listen to the stories you weave and the wisdom you keep. Grandmother, let me gather around your fire. I am eager with desire to learn from you. I lean in to better hear your voice. Help me through all the chaos and the noise. We've got a ways to go and so much to learn. You paved the way, but now it's our turn. So tell me of the things that you see and the places you've been. Tell me of the magic you witnessed when the veil's within. Tell me of the roads that you've traveled, some winding sound long. Tell me of the courage that makes you so strong. Your words of wisdom will live on. Your words of wisdom will live on. Grandmother, hold me in your loving arms. Teach us how to do no harm to the earth. Grandmother, teach us all that you know. Give us the tools we need to grow all the seeds we've yet to sow. I lean in to better hear your voice. Help me through all the chaos and the noise. We've got a ways to go and so much to learn. You paved the way, and now it's our turn. So tell me of the things that you've seen and the places you've been. Tell me of the magic you witnessed when the veil's within. Tell me of the roads that you've traveled, some winding, some long. Tell me of the courage that makes you so strong. Tell me of the courage that makes you so strong. Your words of wisdom will live on. Your words of wisdom will live on. Grandmother, your knowledge is priceless. Thank you for your kindness. I am grateful for your guidance.
Wow. Wow. What an incredible tribute. Sarah Christine, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're going to give the answer. We're going to give the answer to conundrum number 3. Mr. Mojo Horizon was the 3 words that have to be combined. The clue is in the words. We're going to tell you the answer, and we're going to have you let us know in the chat if you got it right. The answer is, of course, Jim Morrison. Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Who got it right? Who got it right, Mr. Because it's the honor system here, peeps. It's the honor system as to whether you got it correct. Nobody. Yep. Mike England said he got it correct. Thanks very much. You're the only one. No clue. No clue. George, it's not a problem that you have no clue. It's totally fine. Jim Morrison, Rich, not a problem either. It's all right. Okay, Mike, you are still in the lead. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to your attention one more time, because this is what we're doing. The program here tonight is to prevent homelessness on Vashon. It's a campaign that is being run by Rotary, along with the Interfaith Council to prevent homelessness, the Vashon Youth and Family Services, and St. Vincent de Paul on Vashon. It's all happening through ourmayberry.com, and there is a link in the chat right now. You can click on that and go directly to the site and make a donation. I am excited to announce that we have thus far raised $1,624. This is a combination of the donations and the contribution. Thus, it's $1,624 and 65 cents to be perfectly exact about it, and that's because these fantastic businesses that are supporting us on our Mayberry are making donations of 5 or 10 or 15% of the proceeds from the packages. So these businesses have advertised and put onto both our Mayberry, because you can look at what they are offering, or in their restaurants themselves, particular items that they are selling, but that they are then donating to our Mayberry. And the one additional detail, which is great to know, is that there's an app called Payberry, which you can download easily onto your phone, and it'll remember it. It's a really cool, brand new kind of app. And if you pay for that or anywhere else that accepts Payberry, they also will make a donation. So again, you can use the app on your phone to pay for your Our Mayberry products that will then support homelessness by using the app called Payberry. Payberry. And if you go to ourmayberry.com, that link right there, you will find out more information about it. Another great restaurant that is a food partner of ours is called Revolve, and it is in Bellevue. We have so many folks from off island that are helping this, and our producer sat down with the owner, and we're going to hear a little bit of an interview with Dr. Dusty Dubois.
We're so happy to be partnering with Preventing Homelessness on Vashon, and we are selling some great packages at Revolve Food and Wine. One of them is a winemaker dinner full table buyout, and you and 4 of your friends can join us for expertly paired wines with 5 courses. We have 2 winemaker individual tickets that we're selling as well. If you want to start building your wine cellar with exquisite luxury wines, we have a moderately priced instant wine cellar and a more level up instant wine cellar. And then we also have date night kit where the chef will prepare food with wine for you and your date. And 15% of the proceeds to all of these sales go directly to preventing homelessness on Vashon. So do yourself a favor and do the world a favor and contribute to this great cause and enjoy a night out.
Okay, how fantastic was that of a restaurant in Bellevue to donate to this program? And you saw how that worked. She was describing a bunch of packages that can be bought online at the R. Mayberry site from this restaurant in Bellevue that can be either delivered or you can pick up curbside, and the donations that they make go directly to Rotary, who can then distribute them to the 3 organizations that are working to prevent homelessness on Vashon. We are now delighted to bring to the Zoom call a woman who is just so important to this island, does so much on so many different levels, is a really delightful part of the community. And that's Hillary Emmer, who's the director of the Interfaith Council to Prevent Homelessness. And she's going to be joined by Mike Massey, and his experience will be brought to bear with regard to the Interfaith Council to Prevent Homelessness. Mike and Hillary, are you there with us? Mike, will you talk to us about the Interfaith Council to Prevent Homelessness?
I sure can.
Tell us about the organization and tell us your connection to it.
Well, my connection is that I own the Vashon's own legal trailer park with 6 tenants, 7 including myself. And over the years, Interfaith Council has come to the rescue of tenants when they just can't make their rent. Since March, they have been a regular contributor to the rents. They've helped at least 3 of the tenants on a regular basis with their rents, from the full rent to partial rents. And what they have provided, aside from the monetary aspect of it, is a sense of security for my tenants, that they know that somebody's got their back when it comes to their rents, and it just allows them to live their lives, go on with their lives without always looking over their shoulder, always worrying about where the rent's going to come from. And I mean, I see it every day in people just going about their business without the stress of wondering if they're going to get help and where it's going to come from. And it's just been real gratifying to see people able to, just like I said, live their lives with a certain sense of security that they know they're going to get help if they need it. So I appreciate so much what the Interfaith Council has done for my tenants. I just can't say enough about how valuable their service has been.
That's incredible. The 3 organizations that are part of this campaign include, beyond the Interfaith Council to Prevent Homelessness, Vashon Youth and Family Services and St. Vincent de Paul. But the Interfaith Council is really the one that is focused directly on homelessness. And I think for some people, it's a big surprise that there's a homelessness problem on Vashon. And can you speak to that for a second, the sense that the homeless population really may not be understood, or the homelessness issue on Vashon?
I can say that today, I have a tenant. He's living in one of the 2 RVs that are on the property. A friend of his, a relative, came to me and asked if he could pitch a tent on the property and sleep there for a couple of nights because he can't find a place to stay. And, of course they said yes. But to me, it's just indicative of how impossible it is to find a place. I mean, I think he's probably just looking for a congregate kind of living situation, but cannot find it. And, it's just really kind of difficult to see, adults struggling with just finding a place to be. And, and I see people coming all the time. People are always coming by and asking if there's any place available. And, nobody's budging because, they've got a secure place.
Right.
And, it's tough.
There you are, Hillary. You're back with us.
I'm here. I'm
Nice to
back.
see you.
I'm back. I was on. Hi.
Hi, Hillary.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Mike. Hey, Amy. So, actually in January when we did the homeless count, there's 147 people who are homeless on this island that we counted.
Oh my goodness.
About 40 of those people were couch surfing, and we have 12 people who are under 18 who are homeless, and we had 3 who are 18, 19 who are living unaccompanied and they're going to school. So homelessness is a problem on this island, and we don't have any housing for them at all, really.
So can you speak to what seems to be happening right now, in your opinion, regarding the pandemic, regarding the economy, and regarding the population, the homeless population on Vashon? What are you seeing?
Well, okay, there's 2 things. One is we do have a homeless population on Vashon. A lot of these people, like Mike said, are actually living in tents on people's properties. And they're actually paying rent. A lot of these people are paying rent. And a lot of them, some of them are working, some of them are on SSI, and some of them are on some of them are on Social Security. They cannot afford homes. But what IFCH is doing now because of the pandemic is we started a fund very specifically for people who have lost their jobs because of the stay-at-home order and that business is closed. So we have been paying rent for 4 people for 6 months now.
Wow.
And and so we average it. It's not the same people. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's not. We've been averaging around 30 families a month, and it actually covers about 100 people are being supported. We're not supporting the whole. We never pay more than $1,000 a month. Some rents are smaller or lower, but people are hurting. And the majority of the people up till now were people who were not on unemployment. And not everyone on this island can get unemployment. And so now people have lost their $600 from the federal government. And because of that $600, which is $2,400 a month, now I'm getting requests for rent subsidies from the people whose unemployment just crashed.
Well, it's amazing work that you guys are doing, Hillary. You're so deeply involved in so many aspects of the island. I can't imagine how busy you are with this, but your commitment is very, very real. You want to say one quick word before we move on about how people can get involved in this?
Well, there's 2 ways. You're giving to Mayberry, so I don't know if you want me to tell them to give to IFCH versus out of you.
Well, that's a good point, Hillary. That's a very, very good point. We don't want to create a duel here.
No. So at this point for here, give to Mayberry and then we'll get the money, or St. Vincent's will get the money, or Youth and Family Services, all good organizations. But people who need rent help, they can contact me and I will give them a form. Every month you have to fill out a form. And
right.
Okay, you want to give my phone? You can get my phone number. I give it to everybody. I'm in the phone book. I have these real things. 206-463-7277 if you want more information about the program or you want some rent help yourself.
You're the best. I just put it in the chat box if people are listening. Oh, I didn't put it in the chat box. I sent it to Chris privately. Chris, take that and put it in the chat box. Hillary, on behalf of everybody watching, thank you so much for your work, and thank you for doing the doing this program with us. We will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. And Mike, thanks so much for being with us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple more conundra, and then we are going to have a couple more musical performances and one more bit of information. So the next conundrum, ladies and gentlemen, has these three words that you combine into a new form. And those three words are Old West action, Old West action, and the tip is, he was the king of the spaghetti western. Old West action is transformed with the Q. He's the king of the spaghetti western. And before we go on to the next thing we're going to do, which is a musical performance by another friend of ours, I want to remind you to donate to our Mayberry, which is in the chat. The link is right there at the bottom of the last chat, ladies and gentlemen, and buy from the businesses on ourmayberry.com. It's now a pleasure to introduce a friend of mine with a little performance. Stefan Moody is without doubt the most multi-talented person I know in my life right now. Besides being a musician, he has a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Painting from Washington University. He's worked as a visual artist for over 35 years. He teaches visual art and performance for digital artists at DigiPen on the east side. He's also a remarkable performer, which he sometimes describes as a 30-year detour in his life. With Umo, with his own company, Chameleon, he's written songs for the wildly popular internet phenomenon Jib Jab, as well as Dark Carney, Rumpus, and the Nillbillies, and his own performance work. Please welcome Stefan Moody.
This song I wrote when I was 24. That's 30 years ago. Well, I am flying on the wings of my desire. It is pure as any sacred fire, with love beyond compare, more than enough to share. There's some I have to spare. Let's take it everywhere, oh yeah. Oh yeah. We are flying on the wings of our desire. It is pure as any sacred fire, a sacred path with light, for those who have no sight, for those who die from fright. A sacred love unites us all. Us all. Us all. Hey, 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 us all. Now that I sit in my place of power, love rains down on me like a shower. My consciousness sits up high in a tower, rainbow streaming down from my thorny crown. Love is all around. Love is all around, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What a fantastic performance. Another gift from Vashon Live. Thank you so much to Simon and Bonnie for providing us with that great, great music tonight. Stefan Moody, I just anecdotally, ladies and gentlemen, I moved here because Stefan Moody lived here. Stefan Moody was the person that inspired our Vashon as the location that we came to in 1989. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the answer for the last conundrum, which was Old West action. Old West action, and of course the clue was he was the king of the spaghetti westerns, and I hope many of you got the answer correct. It is, of course, Clint Eastwood. Now I'm delighted to bring to the program a very important person to our island for a brief interview. Please welcome Jenny Johnson, who is the director of Vashon Youth and Family Services. Jenny, are you there? Jenny, are you there with us, Director of Youth and Family Services? Well, it appears, this happens, ladies and gentlemen, not only in a pandemic, but it happens other times as well. We're going to see if we can get Jenny at a little later part of the program, but right now we will go on to one more conundrum, our final conundrum before our final musical performance.
Kevin,
ladies and gentlemen, is she come back?
Yes.
Jenny, you're here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm having Wi-Fi issues tonight. Hi.
You're the only person on earth that has Wi-Fi issues, Jenny. I can't believe it.
It's so embarrassing.
And Jenny, are you just calling in, or can we see you as well?
I'm gonna do the. Here we go. All right.
Because for reasons that I can't technologically understand, I'm still looking at Hillary.
Okay,
There you are,
great.
Jenny. There you are. Nice to see you.
Hi.
So
Nice
Jenny, Youth and Family Services is such a huge part of the infrastructure of our island. Tell us what's going on right now in regard to you all participating in the challenge of homelessness for Vashon population.
Yeah, I would say that we're seeing it. Well, so first of all, let me back up. We work very closely with Hillary and St. Vincent de Paul. So we are kind of all like in an alliance to combat homelessness on the island. And the way that works across our programs, we have mental health, we have Vashon Kids, we have Family Place, and some Latino outreach work happening. But we make contact with clients who have issues with homelessness, and so we reach out to our partners to help prevent. I would say we're more in the prevention mode, and it's an ongoing issue, and we are seeing a little bit more of it as we get farther and farther into the coronavirus situation, and it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, and it's very painful to see clients who are facing, who are really like not only facing challenges with the coronavirus and isolation, but also with just meeting basic needs.
Totally get it. What is it about the Youth and Family Services in terms of its mission and also sort of how it fits into Vashon's unique community that kind of brings, what is it that Vashon Youth and Family Services can bring that is so unique to this challenge of addressing homelessness?
Mm-hmm. I would say that one of the pieces that is so unique about Vashon Youth and Family Services is that we have, disparate programs that actually work together to provide kind of a continuum of services to folks. So we can track a family or an individual from, support with after and before school at Vashon Kids up through perhaps if there's a need for counseling services later on to support at the high school. We are in touch and connected to families throughout their development. And so it's not just a temporary or short-term engagement, but a long-term engagement.
That makes total sense. Having lived on the island for 30 years, I've seen Youth and Family Services do so many different kinds of programs and have so many really, really skilled practitioners. I think you articulated really beautifully the way that you guys are part of the sort of the infrastructure of families, which is different than folks that are just focusing on the homeless population. And you want to say anything else about what you see coming up or what you see in the future that you all are trying to do differently right now?
Yeah. We are kind of laser focused right now on what we anticipate to be kind of the so the fallout of what's happening with the economy right now, we haven't felt it as acutely as we think we will. We're starting to feel it. We're definitely feeling in behavioral health and 20% uptick in clients. All of the issues. I mean, and it's homelessness is one part of it, but we're seeing an increase in anxiety, and we're seeing an increase in like family issues and drug and alcohol problems, which we attribute to the changes recently in our climate, not just COVID, but our larger political situation happening right now. We're really trying to look at just to doing whatever we can to be a few steps ahead of what we think is going to be a much more challenging situation for many of our most vulnerable community members.
Well, you make an incredibly compelling case for your place in the community, and you guys are a really, really key part of the architecture of social support on the island. So on behalf of everybody listening, and I think the whole community, we are, as always, incredibly grateful for the work that you guys are doing. And I really thank you for being with us tonight and figuring your internet out. Gosh, I hope you figured that out. Nobody else has that kind of problem.
Nobody.
Thank you, Jenny, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. This is great. This is the first Zoom fundraiser I've participated in, and it's pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive. Thanks a lot for doing it. I hope you like the fake background that I created. That's
I love it.
Zoom. I know. It's pretty fancy.
Pretty
Thank
snazzy.
you, Jenny Johnson, Director of Vashon Youth and Family Services. Vashon Youth and Family Services empowers all islanders to realize their full potential through a variety of island-based services, comprehensive programming for kids, for youth, for families, for individuals. Our last conundrum, ladies and gentlemen, as we remind you, this program is winding down. Use our Mayberry. Support the businesses that are on our Mayberry to prevent homelessness on Vashon. That link is in the chat. The final conundrum is this. The word clue is built to stay free. Built to stay free. Take those 4 words and transform it into something else. And your clue is a French gift. A French gift is the clue, built to stay free. We are at our final musical performance, and we will answer that conundrum question right after this. We are so delighted and so lucky, ladies and gentlemen, to have Kate McLeod with us this evening. She's a dynamic and versatile Americana musician who brings her authentic music directly to your soul. Her roots are firmly planted in Americana folk, but colored by her expertise in Celtic or Celtic, bluegrass, classical, Eastern European genres. In 2018, she celebrated 50 years of playing the violin. She regularly donates her time and music to activist organizations working for peace and social justice, and she performs and collaborated on recordings with musicians such as delightfully beloved songwriter and traditional folk singer Vashon Islander Kate Eggleston, as well as cowboy, bluegrass, and Celtic music specialist Skip Gorman, and with pianist Robin Spielberg in her American Tapestry Trio. For our final musical performance as we wind down this great show tonight, please welcome Kate McLeod.
Hi, I'm Kate McLeod, and I'm very happy to be a part of this fundraiser for the Vashon Rotary Club. And I'm going to sing for you my song about the island. This is called To Call the Island Home. Take in the island's cool, clean air and many shades of green, accompanied by ferry boats and a mist so like a dream. People come here for peace of mind. They come from Seattle and from far away to spend some time where my heart is, city by the fire. Oh, a lucky heart to call the island home. Well, I've traveled much of the world by now. I'm not a stranger to the scene, and I love my friends I've made afar and everywhere I've been. And I work to live and I live to love, and I love the announcement we've arrived at shore. The island shore where my heart is, city by the fire. Oh, a lucky heart to call the island home. Thank fate, this old weathered rocket's put a meaning to my peace for the world, and I don't quite get along when it's so far away from peace. And I'll stoke my fire and I won't give up, singing a familiar or an unknown score from the heart where my heart is, city by the fire. Oh, lucky heart to call the island home where my heart is, city by the fire. Oh, a lucky heart to call the island home.
How lucky we are to call the island home, and how lucky we are to have these remarkable musicians with us tonight. I hope you all noticed that they were all dedicating their songs to, well, several of them anyway, were dedicating themselves to this particular program, and what a joy to have them with us. Kate McLeod, Call the Island Home, ladies and gentlemen. The answer to the last conundrum, and then we are going to finish off with one word from one of our fantastic organizations, built to stay free, with the clue a French gift turns into the Statue of Liberty. I know many of you got that right because somebody already put it in the chat box. Thank you guys for doing that. Keep track of how many you got right. You can let us know if you got all 5 right, or 4, or 3, or 2, or 1. The final event of this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring Amy Huggins back on, the president of Vashon Rotary, and remind you that we are at the end of a program that is to kick off a 3-month campaign called Prevent Homelessness on Vashon. But we are joined for one final word by the St. Vincent de Paul director, Anne O'Leary, to learn about what you all are doing and to wrap up our program. Anne and Amy, are you with us?
I am.
Yes.
What about you, Anne?
I'm here.
Thank you so much. Anne, talk to us briefly about St. Vincent de Paul on Vashon Island and what you all have been up to recently.
Okay, well, we've been on the island. Our chapter's been on the island since 1966, and we've been helping Vashon neighbors in need with rent, utility, food assistance, other basic needs. And this, of course, has greatly intensified during the COVID crisis. One of the things, and we've worked really closely with Hillary, we're paying rent as she is, so we coordinate with her, and that's been a huge help because she's raised lots of extra money. So one of the things also we have a lot of people that we have been helping, vulnerable people on the island that we've been helping for a very long time. So we've been checking in with them to see how they're doing and then trying to connect them with services and with help. And I must say how impressed I am with the island and how the social services on the island have come together and really ramped up to meet this need. And so we try, in addition to giving people money for rent and food and so forth, we also try to connect them very closely with other services, and just try to be sure that they aren't piled up with debt at the end of this. If they can't be evicted from their home, but if they pile up a huge rent debt, you know, when they can get back to work, they're behind the 8 ball. And once people are homeless, it's a real downward slide. So the prevention part, I appreciate so much the Rotary calling this to mind and doing this fundraiser, because it's a huge issue.
Well, Anne, I love the fact that you told us that St. Vincent de Paul on Vashon has been here since 1966. You outdate the other organizations by a couple of decades. Can you want to say briefly about St. Vincent de Paul as an international organization, how old it is and how large it is?
Yeah, it started in 1833.
Oh my goodness!
In Paris, a young man who was, I think he was wealthy, I don't remember, but anyway, he was kind of feeling the need to help other people and get away from that. And he had some mentors, and he started among students at the University of Paris.
Wow.
The first organization.
Wow.
And our group on the island, we're all volunteers, and but we're just really committed. We're really dedicated to try to do whatever we can to just help to meet this need in this crisis, because it's certainly caused us to have to ramp up our services and try to raise more money and help people. And it's really, we have very dedicated volunteers who are committed to doing that.
We are so grateful for you being part of this program. We're so grateful for you guys and 4 organizations that are hooking up to help prevent homelessness on Vashon. For the final time, Amy, thank you so much for sticking in the chat box the link, ourmayberry.com, prevent homelessness. You can go right to that link by clicking on it and make a donation directly to the program. And of course, buy from the businesses on Our Mayberry. Look for more businesses, ladies and gentlemen, who will be joining the fight to prevent homelessness. And most of all, I want to encourage you to share this program with friends. We are so grateful for being put together. Amy, any last words from Rotary from your standpoint?
We would just like to hear how much money's been raised so far, Kevin. Could you check on that for us, please?
Oh, you're right, Amy. That would be good information. I announced $1,600 earlier. We are now close to $2,100. Just $500 that have come in just in the last few minutes during this program. We're so grateful, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone's donations. There's a goal of $25,000 over the course of 3 months, so you know how far we have to get. The donations that coming in directly will help, and of course the purchases from Our Mayberry. On behalf of Rotary, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank everyone who joined us as a guest, and of course the 5 incredible musical groups. Pay attention to this program and all the different businesses that are going to be supporting it. Stay well, stay healthy, everybody. Have each other's back. We are going to get through this time together. And thank you for working to prevent homelessness on Vashon. Be well, everyone. Good night.